Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Ravemen FR1100 bike headlight GPS mount combo. Ravemen's FR series of headlights combine a headlight with a GPS mount into a single accessory for a very convenient way to add some illumination onto a bike without additional mounting. This is the newest addition to the FR lineup, which is the FR1100. And this offers really impressive output with the 1100 Lumen, but it retains that FR500 shield-like shape instead of the FR1000's actual mount design. Packaging wise, really simple. Orange and black coloring with a cardboard box, big cutout showing on the actual light. Specs printed on the back and side. I'll go ahead and open this up. We'll go over the full specs. There's actually two versions. We have the SE, which is the more affordable $65 option. That does not include an out front mount. But for $75, there's also a version with the actual out front light as well, or mount as well. So if you need everything, you can just pay $10 more and get a plastic out front mount as well. You get 1100 lumen output, like the name implies. Dual front LEDs, they're in a fixed angle, but tilted slightly downward to reduce glare. You get auto on and off feature, so based on motion, it can automatically detect if you're stationary and turn the light off and put it in standby mode until you start moving again. It's also USB Type-C chargeable, and the nice thing about this is it is power bank as well, so you can use this to charge another device as it has a 2500 milliamp internal battery. As far as what comes with it, you can see quite a lot. Again, we have the SE version, so no out front mount. We have the headlight, which again looks like the FR500 in terms of shape. A couple cables here. A lot of brands don't include cables, but with here, you actually get two. You get a USB-C to C, and you get a USB-C to micro USB, which is convenient for older devices if you want to use as a power bank. You get a safety tether, which is a little more important with this bigger light. Instruction manual. You get their little warranty card. And then a couple tools and adapters here. So Allen wrench, you get the bolt, and then you can see Garmin and Wahoo adapters. The Garmin ones are pre-attached, and then you have the Wahoo ones here, which you can attach to the device. Now let's take a look at the weight of the FR1100. So the light by itself with the pre-installed mount is 118 grams, so definitely on the heavier side due to the higher output. Visually, the Ravemen FR1100 looks almost identical to the FR500 with a thick shield-like shape that sandwiches between a GPS computer and your mount. There's beveled edges on the plastic body that help reduce the visual size. And then you can see a nice curved front with this wraparound lens. Dual LEDs on the front. And then on the sides you have a power button. It's actually backlit with the battery status. And then a USB Type-C charging port. And it's pretty convenient. The FR500 is on the back. This one's on the front, so if you have a GPS computer, you can use the included cables to charge another device while you're riding. The other side doesn't have anything. And then basic Ravemen branding on the top. The cool thing about these designs though is it's a sandwich design. So you have a male Garmin adapter on the bottom and a female one on the top, so you can actually put your computer on top, put this directly on your existing mount, and then you get a really cool sandwich effect. This one's obviously quite thick though, so it's a bigger one. It's 82 by 61 by 25.4 millimeters, or 3.2 by 2.4 by 1. So 1 inch thick, which is pretty thick. And you can see in your hand, it's quite a large light. To handle this higher output, you get 1100 lumen. They have a bigger metal heat fins on the base, so the rest is plastic. And then you have this large heat fin on the bottom to help dissipate the heat. You can see the Garmin mount here. Attached with 2 screws, you can swap this out for the Wahoo versions. And there also is a GoPro adapter included as well. And same thing on top, 2 screws, you can rotate this or swap it out for the Wahoo. With these, you get a fixed dual LED design with 1100 lumens. It's very bright, so you can definitely use this at nighttime. And you can see it has a essentially dipped beam, and with the lens, the whole thing kind of illuminates when it's on, thanks to the little deflectors on here. And you'll see the beam shape. Essentially, it's a standard cone, but just tilted downward with some additional deflectors on the inside. So you can see those special shapes in there help diffuse the light down. It's kind of pre-angled too, so you can leave your computer and this flat, and then have this angle downward on the road, rather than having to dip everything down, which would be really inconvenient. There's no angle adjustment here either, like some of the KOM cycling products. But with this one, same kind of wraparound lens. Great visibility from different angles. And you have a very simple user interface. It'll illuminate the battery status, so either be green, red, or flash in red. Holding the button turns it on and off. You have mode memory, so it remembers where it was. And then a couple constant modes and some really bright flash modes for both nighttime, where you have a low to high, a more daytime appropriate one, which is on off, and then more eco modes to extend the runtime. With the 2500 milliamp battery in here, you also get pretty good run times as well. So a good one for long rides. And it again doubles as a power bank. The light has 6 different modes, 3 constant modes with 1100 lumen being the high, 500 medium, and then a low mode with 250, so they're pretty easy to tell apart. And decent runtime, so almost 2 hours even at the full power mode. You also have a couple flash modes, a warning flash, which goes from a low to a high, rapid flash, which is a quick on-off, and then more of a slow or eco flash that gives you the longest 46-hour runtime. So definitely visible during the day or night. Here you can see some daytime footage in combination with a nog light on the fork, and you can see definitely visible from longer distances and pretty sleek installation. Here's some riding footage. The angle's a little bit dipped, and the GoPro always makes everything look a little bit darker, so in reality, this is a pretty bright light, especially in the full 1100 lumen mode. It's more than enough, especially if you're on a dark trail. So it's a really good combination, but you can see when you're adjusting the power, you have to go through flash modes, and that's really annoying, especially in full nighttime. You have to really click quickly, so if you want to go from high to low, you might have to go all the way back through it. But otherwise, nice wide beam, and you can see there is glare, but it's a nice wide beam that gives you good visibility for higher speeds, or for even just urban riding. You can see here we have the FR1100, the FR500, and the FR160. And visually, at least the FR500 and 1100 look almost identical, same dual LED design. They've really just beefed it up with the additional battery and then the higher output. You can see dimensionally, they're almost identical, just a couple millimeters here and there. So if you put them on top of each other, it's really hard to tell, but they have moved the USB charging port on the side, which is more convenient. But really otherwise, a very minute difference, just a couple millimeter difference. And the heating fins are bigger on the 1100. Obviously the FR160 is much thinner and sleeker. So if you put a computer on top of here, you can see it's much thinner. Well, this is almost 1 inch, but you don't get quite as much output. And I do like the lower power FRs as a daytime light. So just for daytime, you have a COB LED, nice ring design. Not a standalone headlight for nighttime riding, while the FR1100 definitely can be used for that, but the beam isn't super advanced. It's a simple cone beam, so you do get some glare, even with it tilted downward a little bit. There are other competitors in this market. The original one was the Fabric Lumen, which I don't have anymore, and they seem to be defunct. But KOM Cycling has a quick release 1000, and then the 350 we have here. Similar design, their 350 just has the COB LED, while their 1000 has an adjustable angle version. And you can see quite thick. So it's really impressive that the Ravemen was able to get 1100 versus the 350 here. You do get similar features, battery status indicator, dual mount design, just a little different form factor. This one's a little bit more narrow. Coospo also made their own kind of shield design. There's a plastic adapter here that you could put on and then attach a computer above it. But the nice thing about this one is, again, just a little bit thinner, but it's much larger in terms of width and height. So I think the FR1100 is a good option if you want a daytime and nighttime light, while something really thinner like the FR160 is better for daytime riding. What we like about the FR1100 is that you have bright 1100 lumen output, which is pretty impressive for the size of the light. It also has the combo mount design, so you can sandwich it between your mount and a GPS computer instead of using another mount or another adapter. You also have the power bank functionality, which is nice with this larger battery so you can charge other devices. The main negative is the fact you do have a fixed beam angle, and you also have glare. It's not a true sharp beam cutoff. And it's also fairly bulky because of the larger size, so the taller size pushes your computer higher and sticks out a little bit more on the bike. It also requires cycling through flash modes to change the modes, so it would have been nice if it had a 2-level mode like a lot of the Magic Shine lights, so you could adjust the intensity without going through flash, which is important when you're riding at night. Taking everything into account, would give the light an 8.8 out of 10. It has great daytime and nighttime visibility, so if you do a lot of nighttime riding and you want daytime visibility without two separate lights, this is a good combination. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.